Imagine living in a world where everyone gets treated the way they want to be treated, with kindness, love, fairness, and generosity. This is the golden rule. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. And while we were taught this in grade school and by our grandmas, we tend to forget it as we grow up. Today's Bible verse comes from Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 to 5. It says, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. In the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and the measure you use for others will be used for you. Why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye and not see the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, 'Come, let me take the speck from your eye,' as long as that plank is in your own? Hypocrite! Remove the plank out of your own eye. Then you will see clearly to remove the speck out of your brother's eye." The word of the Lord. So basically, what this verse is talking about is we shouldn't judge people. But often people get misconceptions about judging, because isn't judging helpful? Because aren't we supposed to evaluate whether something is right from wrong? Well, in the Bible, the word that Jesus uses is krino, which is the Greek word. Okay, maybe he didn't speak Greek, but basically, from based on my research, krino is the Greek word for judgment. Sorry, is the Greek word for discernment or decision, deciding something. Jesus doesn't say that we should stop judging everything, but rather he's saying that we shouldn't look down on people and with hatred and thinking that they don't measure up to us. And the same way we shouldn't be judging ourselves thinking that we're better than everyone. What Jesus is saying here is to avoid condemnation, which is basically like having hurtful or very belittling thoughts of other people who kind of piss you off. So let's say your friends or your families, they don't match your standard. What Jesus is saying is that instead of having thoughts of judging them of why they're terrible, we should approach them with compassion, because we are not perfect. We've made mistakes. We're all sinners here. So who are we to assume that we can be the judger? In the Bible, it says that God will be the one to judge for us. So maybe our role in this temporary life is to leave the judgment up to God. So basically, if someone doesn't match your standards of stuff, instead of trying to be obsessed over that or be hateful towards that person, just leave it up to God. He will be the one to judge. What you can do is to live your life and be a good role model and show love and compassion to those people. But at the end of the day, they will be judged by God and they will grow on their own. We don't we shouldn't bully others. We shouldn't feel make them feel worse. We shouldn't get revenge, because this is not how God wants us to live in the righteous path. There's this story where a prostitute was about to get stoned by the Pharisees, and Jesus said, "May the first person who never sinned be the first one to throw a stone." And slowly people left the room because they realized that they were sinners too. So they don't have the right to be condemning this prostitute who's also a sinner. At the same time, God is the creator of the world, is giving us a second chance to grow and live in his everlasting love. I am a sinner. I've made so many sins in my life. Even though I've turned closer to God, I still make sins every day. Yet his love doesn't change. So if the creator of the world's love can never change, then what more our love for other people and in this world? We often exaggerate in our heads just how painful we feel when someone makes us hurt. But at the end of the day, like if you think about it, it wasn't that bad. People have experienced way worse. If we stop judging people more and we start accepting them for who they are and loving them unconditionally and being more considerate and stop trying to like criticize them in our heads, trying to gossip and like hurt them, I think we should be more considerate. And if we do that, they may be inspired to do the same, and we'll create an environment, a society where we love each other unconditionally and we support each other. And just imagine just how great of a feeling that would be to be surrounded by people who basically you feel comfortable around, because you know that they won't be belittling you or judging you. And I felt this especially recently because I joined a Christian org, and just being in that space, this non-judgmental space where they're present with you. You don't feel like you have to put up an act or you have to sound more interesting than you are. And I love that it's just so authentic and caring. It's not fake. Just imagine being around those kinds of people every day. You could do that if you become the person who's willing to change and to stop judging others. In the title, I said that judging others will make you more miserable. It's true because one, you'll be surrounded by people who like to judge. If you gossip, you'll be around people who gossip about you. And secondly, you just feel so free and so loving and so caring. Instead of dwelling on the hurtful things, you're focusing on how you can bring love to other people and make them have the strength to go through life. That just feels so purposeful. It's how I feel so purposeful with these videos. I remember in the past, I was constantly judging, why aren't people watching my videos? Why aren't people giving me money? And I realized that was coming from the wrong source. I was belittling other people. I was sounding like a know-it-all. I thought I deserved stuff, but I didn't. I needed to be humble and be self-reflective. My hope is for you to be the same, to stop judging, stop condemning, start loving, start being more compassionate, because instead of judgmentally condemning others or looking down on them, we can have the power of healing what's broken and treating others the way that we want to be treated. God bless you. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.